Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I'll be sharing 4 quick and easy, delicious lunch ideas with you. If you are needing some lunch inspiration for yourself, your spouse or significant other, or your kiddos, then just keep watching. First up, I made turkey club sliders. I love doing various different kinds of sliders and sandwiches, and these were tasty. I'll link the recipe that I took inspiration from down in the description box below. So first, I've got some Hawaiian rolls. I know some people don't love the Hawaiian rolls. You could use dinner rolls, yeast rolls, or just little slider buns. I think this would also be good on like the little pretzel slider rolls. I have some mayonnaise, honey mustard, turkey deli meat, some pre-cooked bacon, and some sliced cheddar cheese. So I didn't show me assembling this because it was basically just making a sandwich, but what I did was took the rolls, sliced them in half lengthwise. I added some of the mayo and mustard, and then the cheese, the turkey, and the bacon, and that's it. These are perfect to pack up and take to school or work for lunch for adults or kiddos. They're a great size, especially for kiddos. They don't have to be heated up, and you can put whatever kind of meat or cheese or vegetables that you like. Now, if you are taking this to work or school and you're worried about the condiments getting the rolls soggy, I don't really find that they make the Hawaiian rolls super soggy because the rolls are pretty thick. But if you're worried about it, you can just put the condiments on the inside of the sandwich rather than directly on the bread. So that by that, I mean, I would take the roll, add like your cheese, and then add the deli meat, and then like add your condiments, and then the bacon, and then the roll. So as long as your condiments don't really touch the roll, it won't get as soggy as quickly. And then to go along with this, you could just do chips, fruit, pasta salad, whatever you've got. Today I just did a large loaded salad on the side, and this was lunch. Super yummy. The next idea I have for you is what I call an easy tuna casserole, and I've got casserole in quotations because it's not really a casserole. I started making this several years ago. At the time I was doing Weight Watchers, and this was pretty popular on the Weight Watchers like blogs and Pinterest and Instagrams that I follow because it was kind of a low point meal. But I like it so much I make it pretty frequently. I've mentioned before on my channel that I love tuna casserole. My husband can't stand it. Now there are some things that I make that my husband doesn't love, but he'll still eat it. But tuna casserole is one thing that Gary's like, nope, pass. If I say I'm making tuna casserole, he's like, okay, I'll make myself a sandwich. It's just, he just does not care for it. So this is great because it's something that I can whip up to get just for myself. So if you're single or if you have family members who are tuna casserole haters, but you still like it, this is pretty tasty. It comes close to tasting like a real tuna casserole. So to make it, you don't need a lot of ingredients. Here's what you do need. Now, keeping in mind we're going for convenience, something that you can put together quickly at home for lunch or to take to work or school, we're going to use a frozen individual size macaroni and cheese entree. Now, in the past, especially when I was doing Weight Watchers, I used the Trader Joe's Reduced Guilt macaroni and cheese, and I still use that. I just didn't happen to have it on hand today, so I'm using the Stouffer's. We, of course, need some tuna for the tuna quote-unquote casserole. So I like to use these individual packets. They're convenient to take to work or school, and it's also nice because you really don't have to drain them. And then that's pretty much all that you need. Now, I like peas in my tuna casserole, so I'm going to throw some frozen peas in there. You don't even have to defrost them or thaw them or cook them. And then depending on how cheesy your macaroni and cheese is, sometimes I will add in a slice of American cheese. Like I feel like the Trader Joe's, I want it to be a little extra cheesy and creamy, so I'll add in a slice of cheese. But this Stouffer's, I ended up not using it. So to make this, it's really easy. We're basically just going to follow the instructions on the package. So for this in particular, it said to cut a slit in the film and then microwave it. I believe it was for like 4 minutes. Remove it and give it a stir. So that's what I did. And then at that point, I'm going to add in my tuna fish as well as the peas. And again, if you don't want to use peas, if you don't like them or just, don't want to take them to work or school, you can leave them out. You can also sub whatever veggies you do like. Mixed vegetables would be good as well. So once I've added the tuna and the peas, I'm going to season it with just a little bit of salt and pepper, give it a stir, and then the instructions said to microwave it for, I think it was another 2 minutes or so. and then that's it. It's done. You want to remove that from the microwave carefully, remove the film carefully, and then allow it to cool for a couple minutes, and that's it. You're good to go. Now, like I said, this isn't gourmet. It's not fancy, but it is a quick and easy lunch. It's budget friendly, and if you like tuna casserole, I recommend you give it a try. It really does taste pretty much like a tuna casserole. So on this day for lunch, I just served it with some grapes, and that was my lunch. Next, I'm making a chicken bacon ranch wrap. Now, when I make chicken bacon ranch wraps, I make them one of two ways, kind of a more simple way and a little more complex way, but I say complex very loosely. It's still pretty easy. I prefer it the more complex way, which is what I'm going to show you today, but I'll also kind of walk through the other way. So here's what you are going to need. First, for the wrap, you can use whatever kind of wrap you prefer. Today, I'm just using some plain tortillas. We need lettuce. I've got some shredded iceberg today. Use whatever you like. You could also do spinach or arugula. We have some cooked bacon, some shredded cheddar cheese. I'm going to add some diced tomatoes and then chicken. Now you can use leftover chicken. You could use rotisserie chicken. You could use like the frozen Tyson diced already cooked chicken. This is a chicken breast that I cooked a couple nights ago for dinner and had leftover. So I'm just gonna chop that up. And last but not least, for our chicken bacon ranch wrap, we of course need some ranch. Now I like using the semi-homemade ranch, which is just ranch dressing mix, mayonnaise, and milk. You could use your favorite bottled ranch. That works just as fine. All right, so for this, I basically just mix everything in a bowl together, almost like a salad. And this, like I said, is kind of the more quote-unquote complex way. You can just basically lay down like your tortilla or whatever you're using for your wrap, and lay down your lettuce, lay down your tomato, lay down your bacon, lay down your chicken, and just layer it inside the burrito. That is not the burrito, inside the wrap. That is perfectly fine. And like I said, I do it both ways. Both are delicious. So once I've added my lettuce, tomato, bacon, chicken, cheese, and ranch, I'm going to stir it until it's combined really well. And then I'm going to take my tortilla. I ended up deciding to switch to these garden spinach herb wraps for my husband anyway. I just did the plain smaller one for me. I'm going to add some of the filling and then roll it up like a burrito. And at this point, you could stop and eat the wrap like it is, but I really like to give it a little toast. So I'm going to add this to a skillet. It's just over about medium heat. I'm just going to grill it up for a couple minutes on each side, and then that's it. It will be done. So for lunch this day, we just did the wraps and some of the leftover grilled corn and potato salad. I will link my What's for Dinner video where I share that recipe. And then we've got some watermelon. Now, if you are packing a wrap to take to work or school, I would recommend that you pack it separately. So if you're making this particular wrap, I would mix up the chicken bacon ranch filling and then pack that in a little container, and then take your tortilla or your wrap and then just assemble the wrap once you get to work or school, just so it doesn't get soggy. But if that doesn't bother you, you can just, pack it as is. But I love these wraps, especially toasting it up like this. I don't know what about it. Just the cheese kind of gets a little melted, and I love it. But like I said, if you don't want to fool around with that, you can totally just lay everything down on the wrap and not grill it, and it is delicious as well. That was lunch this day. The final idea I have for you is a Copycat Papa John's Pappadia. Now, my husband Gary loves the Pappadias. They can be a little on the pricey side, and plus you're kind of limited. I think you can only add 3 toppings in them. But I saw Fallon on Moss Family TV. Gosh, it's been a while ago, maybe last year or even longer than that. She talked about making her own Pappadias. Now, I went back and tried to find that video where I'd heard her mention it, but I couldn't find it, and I don't remember how she did it. So this is just how I'm going to make them, but I did take inspiration from her, and I'll have their channel linked in the description box below, of course. Gary's favorite Pappadia is the Italian, so that's what I'm going to use as inspiration today. So for the crust, Papa John's website describes it, I believe, as a flatbread based on their pizza dough recipe, which I, of course, have no idea what that is. Fallon suggested using naan bread, and I like it. I feel like it's a close match. It's not exact, but it's a close match. Now, I like to use the minis, but you could, of course, use the regular size. It'll just be a little bit bigger. For the Italian style, we're going to add some Alfredo sauce. And then normally Papa John serves this with pizza sauce on the side for dipping. I had some of this pasta sauce in my fridge already open, so I'm just going to warm that up. I have some shredded mozzarella cheese, some ham deli meat, some leftover charcuterie meat. This is salami and I believe capicola. I have some black olives and banana peppers. I've got the oven preheating to 400 degrees. I'm going to lay some of the non-rounds down on my cookie sheet. Next, I'm going to spread out a layer of Alfredo sauce. Now, with the fillings or the toppings for the papadilla, you do want to go a little light. Otherwise, when you go to fold everything over, everything will just kind of squeeze out. Once I've added the sauce, I'm going to add some shredded mozzarella, and then I'm going to add my meats. Like I said, I'm using some of the leftover charcuterie meats and some ham, and again, just a slice or two of each, and that will be perfectly fine. I'm going to add some olives. I decided to add them to the top so that they stuck to the cheese. I'm going to add some of the banana peppers and then a little bit more cheese just to act as glue. And I decided to add a sprinkling of Italian seasoning. Totally don't have to do that. I just thought it would make a nice little yummy touch. This is going to go into the preheated oven. I baked it for about 12 minutes or so. Just keep an eye on it. Depends on your oven. Really, you're just toasting the bread and melting the cheese. And as soon as it comes out of the oven, though, you do want to fold it over. Now, what I do is I just fold it over and then kind of press on it for a few seconds with a spatula. And because the cheese is hot and melted, it sticks right together. Now, like I said, I just warmed up some of the pasta sauce to go along with it. And that was it. My husband really enjoyed these, and like I said, you really can use whatever fillings you've got on hand or what you like. All right, that is it for today's video. I hope this gave you some lunch inspiration. If it did, hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.